Oh, hi, Mr. Bones. Hi, everybody. Welcome to science. Welcome back to school. So it's going to be your first science lesson of the year. And the first science lesson of the year is, what is science? Big old question mark. So what is science? We're really trying to figure that out. And me and Mr. Bones have been talking a lot, and he got this cart full of science stuff from around our science room. And we were looking at it, trying to figure out exactly what that answer would be. So we have our plasma orb, which is putting plasma out. This is really cool. We have the Earth. We have our cool lava lamp, our conch, Spiky, our awesome iguana, and a rock that was mined from somewhere. Pretty interesting. Plus the cart itself. So Mr. Bones and me were looking at it, talking, trying to figure out exactly what is science. And we came to this conclusion that science is the study of how and why things occur through observation, seeing it, and experimentation, actually testing to find out what it does. We broke this down by thinking about what do we study in school. And the things that we realized we study are Earth and space, life, and physical science. Now, there's a lot of types of science out there, but these are the ones we mainly focus on in school, so these are the ones we decided to define for all of you. So the first one was Earth and space, and Earth and space is about the creation of the universe and the forces that affect it. If you remember, there's 4 fundamental forces of the universe that we'll be talking about later, but there's the moon and the stars and everything out there, and that all falls under Earth and space. Then we have life science. That's pretty easy. Study of living things, from the itsy bitsy tiniest things like little water bears and things, all the way up to the biggest things we have, which are like blue whales, including ancient big things like dinosaurs and megalodons, and just the hugeness of our life and how long it's been going on. And the last one is physical science. Physical science is about the inanimate natural objects and the laws that govern them. And when we say inanimate, we mean non-living, like atoms and the way the forces affect them, and simple machines and all those kinds of things that we deal with on a daily basis, but we don't realize took a lot of study to figure out. Which takes us to our drawing that we're going to do in our book. And here's the one that I've done. So our drawing is going to start with the base of our tree, science. It's the foundation. It's the trunk of the tree that goes out. And we're only using 3 branches, but this has many, many branches that are always being found new every single year. There's a scientist that comes out with a new idea and a new way of looking at something, which could be a branch all to its own. The first one, Earth and space, life, and physical. So I'm going to start with physical, and I'm trying to think of what kind of leaves might be on this branch, what kind of studies might be in there. So for physical, I'm thinking physics. It's a pretty easy one. It's kind of in the name too. And it's how objects interact and directly affect each other. So I'm going to write physics down here. So physics. Now, another branch I'm thinking of is when we mix baking soda and vinegar, we have a chemical reaction and it causes it to go and splurt everywhere. And that's chemistry. So I'm going to put chemistry over here. Chemistry. And I remember to dot my I on that one. And so that is just a branch, and I just gave 2 examples on that, and now I'm going to put a whole bunch of leaf around it. So it's going to be its own branch covered in leaves. And these branches break into smaller branches because there's other types of chemistry out there. There's biochemistry, all these cool kinds of things out there. So the next I'm going to do, Earth and space. So I'm trying to think of a couple sciences for Earth and space. And let's see, there's a study of the Earth that we live on. And that's like the study of rocks that we had on our thing here. The study of how water and erosion and things like that happen. And that's called geology. So I'm going to put geology down here. And the next one I'm thinking of is, well, it's not just the Earth out here in space. There's the moon, there's stars, there's comets, there's asteroids, there's all these other amazing things. And that's called astronomy. And astronomers are the people that study astronomy. Go figure. Astronomy. So I put 2 on there. That's good enough. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it its own big bushy leaf. And as I said, Earth and space has got a whole bunch more sciences that you can fit in here. Now I'm looking at the last one that we usually study, life science. So life science, just like Spiky our iguana here, It's an animal. There's lots of animals out there. I'm an animal. Mr. Bones is an animal. And that falls under zoology, the study of animals. So we have zoo, like you go to the zoo and you see animals. Ology. Zoology. Cool. And, you know, that's animals, but there's way more life on here than just animals, which goes to plants. What do you do the study of plants? Botany. So put botany over here. Botany. Botany. Let's give it its own little bushy bush too. There we go. Botany. So what we're doing is in your science book, which everybody should have a science book, at the very front page, we're going to be doing our own tree of science. Now, as you can see on mine, I've put the definitions of what each branch has, as well as the definition of what is science, and I found a few other types of sciences out there. So for you at home, you should look around your house, look around your environment, and think, how does this stuff happen? There's tons of science out there. There's a science of computers called computer science, which teaches us how we can maximize our processor, speed it up, better batteries, software, and improvements on software. Then there's the science of Mr. Bones over here, the study of people, the study of humans. There's science that built the very tray that all this stuff is sitting on and how the wheels operate and how this whole cart goes together. What is this thing? Science studied it to try to figure it out. We don't know what this is. This is crazy. I'm kidding. It's a staple remover. That's a kooky looking staple remover though, but that's all it is. And a scientist had to figure this out. It's an engineer. It's a type of science. And one of my favorite all-time sciences, the box, the mighty box. So there is actually an entire branch of science called packaging engineers that study and figure out how to package things so that they get shipped safely, how to put different kinds of sponges in it. It's amazing just to ship things across the country. So look around your house and see what things you might think have science. Work with your parents, work with your teachers, work with your friends to try to figure out what kind of scientists and what kind of science is used in that to make it, and then add it to your tree. You'll have plenty of room inside of your branches to add all these other leaves to your tree. So have fun with that and have fun with science this week. Till next week, bye.